Hey guys, this is part 2 of my series covering movement and Deadlock. I'll be showing you more advanced and obscure movement tech. Credit to Comsulter and DimeQ for documenting all of the movement tech. It has been incredibly helpful in the making of this guide. I definitely skipped over some of the movement tech I found impractical. If you want to see all of the tech, I will link the document in the description. I encourage you to read the document and try out its exercises to develop good movement habits for practicing movement. The heavy melee can be cancelled using specific items, known as a heavy melee cancel or HMC for short. The items Fleetfoot, Colossus, Unstoppable, and Vampiric Burst can all trigger an HMC. The item Melee Charge speeds up HMCs by boosting heavy melee distance, increasing peak speed. Dynamo, Ivy, and Kelvin can also cancel with certain abilities, though they cannot follow up as effectively as an item can.
Time to move. And where, pray tell?
To execute, start a heavy melee and activate an item or ability that cancels it just before the hit registers. For optimal momentum, perform the cancel while airborne, ideally near the end of the lunge phase when heavy melee is fastest.
Time to punch the hell out of people.
When cancelling a heavy melee of one of the 4 active items or ability that allows for heavy melee cancel, you can immediately start another punch by holding the melee key. This creates a heavy melee cancel extension, doubling the punch distance. It can also serve as bait, misleading opponents into thinking your heavy melee is ending. To perform it, simply hold the melee key when cancelling with an active item. A hidden melee is a heavy melee concealed by ability animations, which obscures the heavy melee's visual cues. While some melees may appear silent and particle free on your screen, opponents will still hear the sound and see the effects. Hidden melees make it harder for opponents to parry and can create challenging close quarter encounters. Many heroes can perform a hidden melee with their abilities.
Lightning.
Don't mess this up, Savannah.
Hi, friend. Who wants to see a goo fist?
Wall jumps have a buggy interaction with corners that enables an unusually high jump known as a corner boost. This technique works on any map edge or corner but requires precise positioning and timing. Corner boosts provide extra height and improved vision, useful for abilities like Lash's ground strike. It can be used to traverse the map or have tricky movement in combat. While much easier on curved surfaces, corner boosting is still possible on other surfaces. The drop-down corner boost can be performed on any edge in the game, usually signposts. To execute it, mantle over an edge, fall down, then quickly press W and wall jump simultaneously. If done correctly, you'll launch high into the air. This technique can be used to chase enemies who camp on top of the roof and lane, or to constantly apply pressure of Lash in the mid lane. A dash jump can be used to set up a corner boost on certain surfaces. To execute, dash jump onto the side of an object, quickly look away to avoid mantling, and then wall jump. If done correctly, you'll perform a corner boost. When standing near a ledge like this, you can vault over it and perform a corner boost. This is useful for securing bridge buffs without ropes. To execute, tuck next to the ledge, perform a light melee, then immediately jump to vault over it. While falling, press W and jump simultaneously to corner boost. A regular wall jump applies some air drag, reducing your speed in the air. You can override this drag by quickly air jumping afterward, which costs 1 stamina. This is called a wall boost. Wall boosting is most effective when combined with a dash jump, maximizing speed while minimizing air drag. Since wall boosting consumes an air jump, it's best used when you're not in combat or have extra stamina to spare. Strafe dashing, also known as diagonal dashing, is a technique where you perform an air dash at an angle to your current velocity. This allows you to break through the speed cap of normal dashing and gain additional momentum. When dashing normally, your directional speed is capped at around 700 units per second or 900 units per second with superior stamina. This speed cap affects movement in the same direction as your current velocity. By dashing at an angle to your velocity, you can bypass this cap and add to your speed, helping to alleviate the slowdown when dashing forwards. There are 2 ways to strafe dash. Both are best used in different situations. There's forward strafe dashing. To do this, slightly turn away from where you want to go, then dash forward, then air strafe back towards a forward direction. The air strafe won't increase speed, but it will redirect you to your intended direction. This is best for lower speeds like walking. Then there's sideways strafe dashing. To do this, turn 45 degrees away from where you want to go, strafe dash towards that direction, then look back to where you want to go. This eliminates the need to air strafe back to your intended direction as you'll now be heading in that direction. This is best used for higher speeds, such as when using a zipline momentum cancel. Note that the optimal angles for strafe dashing depends on your speed. At lower speeds like walking, a 50-degree angle is optimal. From a dash jump, 45 degrees is optimal. At higher speeds like exiting a zipline, the air dash angle should be closer to the intended direction. Instant air dashing, or IAD for short, involves jumping and immediately air dashing, removing the slowdown at the end of a regular dash. It costs 1 stamina. Without items, instant air dashing is slower than a regular dash, air dash, or dash jump. With the item's superior stamina and combined with sliding, instant air dashing becomes much faster and covers more distance. One dash provides significant speed and distance for 1 stamina, and a well-timed instant air dash with sliding can almost match the distance of a dash jump with half the stamina cost. Air dashing twice increases peak speed to around 900 units per second. Pressing both dash and melee on the same tick executes a dash punch, extending your melee range at the cost of 1 stamina. Dash punching works with both light and heavy melee. It requires a very precise input. You must be moving in any direction or you'll perform a regular melee instead. If you lack the stamina for a dash, you'll just melee. Parry dashing is a tick perfect action that lets you parry while moving forward. Useful for parrying melee attacks that are out of range or parrying enemies that are securing troopers with melee attacks. It costs 1 stamina. To execute, press both parry and dash in the same tick. You must be moving, otherwise you'll parry in place. If you have no dashes or stamina, you'll parry in place. If parry isn't available, you'll dash instead. If done correctly, you'll move forward during the parry animation. Stand cancelling is the act of cancelling a crouch dash by standing up, making you fully actionable afterward. To execute, hold the crouch key, dash, then release crouch during the dash. This cancels the dash early, returning you to a standing position. Stand cancelling costs 1 stamina. After a stand cancel, you can perform various actions like dashing, jumping, air dashing, performing another stand cancel, or simply doing nothing. Its strength lies in its flexibility to change actions rapidly, allowing for unpredictable movement. Haze and Grey Talon cannot dash immediately after a stand cancel. Attempting to do so results in a walking animation. If you try to spam dash after stand cancelling with them, it leads to this really funny movement. Slide conservation involves storing the slide input for later use, allowing you to slide on objects and ramps instantly, even without any speed. Objects like ramps and curbs can be slid on. To execute, jump and hold crouch. While holding crouch, the slide is stored, and once you walk down a ramp or fall off a slope, you'll begin sliding. Infinite sliding is available when your movement speed exceeds 10 meters per second, which can be achieved with items that boost movement or sprint speed. When you move faster than 10 meters per second and slide repeatedly, it's called a crouch glide. By pressing crouch repeatedly, you initiate short slides, making your character's body and head harder to hit due to constant movement. Proper timing is key, as excessive crouch spamming slows you down. Aim to prolong the slide instead. While sliding, you have infinite ammo, allowing you to conserve bullets. To execute, move above 10 meters per second and repeatedly press crouch. If you want to shoot, press M1 during the slide. When dash cancelling, if you maintain enough speed, you can slide twice, known as a short dash crouch cancel double slide. This can serve as a hitbox mix-up, making you harder to hit. To execute, cancel a dash by ducking, then quickly press the duck key again to start the second slide. A zipline momentum conservation, or ZMC for short, is a technique that uses ziplines to maintain speed. It costs no stamina. Upon dismounting a zipline, you experience no air drag for 2 seconds, after which you gain extra air drag. This can be used to conserve momentum. Characters with abilities that have cast time such as Dynamo, Ivy, Lash, Pocket, Grey Talon, Vindicta, and Yamato can benefit from a ZMC maintaining momentum for better offense and mobility. To execute a ZMC, hold the jump button to latch into a zipline. While ascending, press crouch to activate the buff, eliminating air drag. A zip dash combines a ZMC and dashing or strafe dashing to gain speed and cover more distance. This is faster and longer because air drag is removed, and the usual dash slowdown is bypassed. A zip dash works best with the item's superior stamina, allowing 2 quick strafe dashes for added speed and distance. They're often used in pre-game loadouts to reach in the middle of the lane or traverse the map quickly. You can also follow a zip dash of a wall jump to go further. To execute, drop from the zipline then dash. Shiv lacks an ADS function in his gun but features an alt fire or M2 that shoots 2 shotgun rounds with recoil that knocks you back, similar to Force on Nature from Team Fortress 2. This recoil offers several movement options for Shiv, including force jumping, M2 recoil skip, M2 sliding, M2 slide hopping, M2 heavy melee climb, M2 wall jump, infinite M2 slide. This requires at least 13% fire rate or the Fleetfoot item, and infinite M2 slide acceleration. This requires either 40% fire rate, 12% fire rate with Fleetfoot, or the burst fire item. And the Bluetooth ult. Viscous' third ability, Puddle Punch, creates a goo fist after a short delay. This fist damages enemies and can boost you, known as Puddle Punch boosting. This enables techniques like the Goo Ball Punch, Wall Punch Dash, Puddle Punch Wall Boost, Puddle Punch Rope Climb, Jump Pad Puddle Boost, the Frog Punch, and the Ballless Frog Punch. Viscous' ultimate, Goo Ball, allows you to move as a bouncing ball. When fully upgraded, you can cast items and abilities like Warp Stone, Magic Carpet, Phantom Strike, and Majestic Leap during the ult, improving your ability to change direction and land hits more freely. If you jump off a slope or curved surface and then get cubed, you'll begin accelerating in the direction of the surface, gaining momentum while airborne. Using Ice Path while teleporting allows you to create an extended ice path that stretches across the map. This cross-map ice path can provide unexpected mobility options for your team. By dashing and immediately using Power Slash, you can carry dash momentum into the slash, allowing movement while channeling. This dash slash can surprise opponents, making it harder for them to escape, or help you close the gap. Targeting an enemy and cancelling Flying Strike while moving towards them maintains momentum, a technique called Empty Strike. Combining Empty Strike with Air Jump or Slide extends your distance and can be used to evade enemies attacking from behind. By combining a ZMC of Power Slash, you can maintain zipline speed while channeling, ideal for chasing opponents in lane. Mantling over an object while charging Power Slash offers a sneaky way to poke enemies in lane. Vindicta's second ability, Flight, propels her upward. By cancelling Flight during the upward launch, you can retain the momentum, a technique known as a super jump. Combining this with a ZMC allows you to jump significantly farther, allowing you to escape fights. When channeling Storm Cloud, you are lifted upward. Combining this with a ZMC allows you to ascend rapidly. This is known as a Sky Lift. During the spin phase when emerging from the ground, there's a 5-tick window where you can air dash. After this initial dash, you can also slide while spinning, slightly extending your burrow range. While in burrow, you can use movement items like Warp Stone, Magic Carpet, Phantom Strike, and Majestic Leap to reposition upwards or chase enemies, enhancing your mobility options.
No one runs from us.
Pressing Alt Fire while your kinetic carbine shot is charged slows time for yourself, allowing you to stay still while in the air. By air dashing before activating Alt Fire, You can halt your momentum mid-air, allowing for precise aiming at high speeds. Time Wall, Paradox's second ability, spawns a wall that freezes enemy bullets and projectiles while damaging and slowing opponents inside it. Activating Time Wall stops all momentum, which can be used to halt mid-air movement and air dash back to full distance, useful for baiting enemies or quickly changing directions. After casting Paradoxical Swap, you are briefly able to use movement items like Warp Stone, allowing you to slightly extend your swap range or to control where the swap target lands. The Telezip is a technique that skips the initial zipline animation of Wraith's teleport. Wraith's teleport cancels all momentum upon exit. Using a zipline immediately after teleporting allows you to bypass the slowdown. By quickly dropping off the zipline, you can capitalize on the air drag buff for improved mobility. Lash's grapple can be cancelled into a dash, allowing Lash to maintain the speed from initial launch. By cancelling grapple with a dash then sliding, you can trade your vertical momentum for horizontal momentum, a technique called the grapple slide. The grapple slide can be extended with items that boost slide distance, like Fleet Foot and Burst Fire. It can be used to chase down opponents and pick them off in tight spaces, such as inside buildings, under bridges, or in the mid-boss fight room.
Start running.
With precise timing, you can use airdrop while carrying the soul urn, enabling fast and efficient urn deliveries. Items that increase sprint speed will boost your flying speed while carrying the urn, but items with move speed do not contribute to flying speed. The solar urn of Ivy, open the airdrop cast window, walk into the urn and wait until the progress bar reaches the gap between picking it up. You have a 9-tick window for the next step. If you're too early, you'll fly without the urn, and if you're too late, you won't be able to cast airdrop. Then self-cast the airdrop. If done correctly, you'll pick up the urn and fly simultaneously. Infernus' flame dash accelerates at the start, reaching 470 units per second over 1 second. If you hold the dash, it peaks at 780 units per second after 2 seconds. However, you can instantly reach top speed by dashing before casting Flame Dash. Flame Dash can be cancelled at any time during its duration, allowing you to carry over some momentum. This lets you slide with the momentum from the cancelled Flame Dash, a technique known as Flame Dash Slide.
And away we go.
When you cancel Shoulder Charge, you retain the momentum. This technique is called a Charge Cancel. For a quick burst of speed, dash jump, use Shoulder Charge, then cancel into a slide. Charge cancelling can be used to escape when enemies are nearby or in combat, and allows you to quickly change directions.
Nothing stops me. Go, go, go.
That's the end to my movement guide for Deadlock. The game is still an alpha of lots of experimental features and gameplay, so if this guide becomes outdated in the future, I will update it. If you have any suggestions about any other educational Deadlock topics, feel free to leave it in the comments. Lastly, I stream Deadlock sometimes on Twitch. Feel free to leave a follow if you like my content.